Welcome to Dark Whispers, where shadows tell their tales. Tonight, we uncover the chilling mystery of Revenge Tree Manor, a place where no one escapes. Are you ready to listen? In the heart of a forgotten forest lay Revenge Tree Manor, an ancient, crumbling house abandoned for over a century. Thick ivy choked its walls, and its shattered windows seemed to glare like empty eyes at anyone who dared to approach. Villagers whispered its name in fear, swearing it had taken every soul who tried to make it home. No one went near it. No one, that is, except Elias Thorne. Elias wasn't superstitious. No, he was a man of solitude, craving a place far from the chaos of people. When he stumbled upon the decayed manor, during one of his endless journeys, he thought perfect, a fortress of isolation, a haven for his restless mind. But Revenge Tree Manor had secrets, and it would not let him leave. The first night, on Elias' first night, the forest around the manor roared with a storm. The wind lashed against broken windows. The house groaned, almost as if it were alive, shifting uneasily in the darkness. As Elias sat by the fireplace, a sound reached his ears, a faint creak from above. He glanced up sharply. Impossible, he muttered. The upper floor was just a ruined attic. Only rubble and broken beams remained. The creaking grew louder, deliberate, heavy, as if something or someone new was walking. Tab, tab, tab. The sound stopped just outside his door. Elias frowned, clutching the fire poker tightly, his knuckles white. He swallowed and shouted into the darkness, "Who's there? Answer me." Silence. Gathering his courage, Elias yanked the door open. The hallway was empty, except for a single muddy footprint leading deeper into the shadows. The second day. The next morning, Elias forced himself to believe it had been his imagination, a trick of the storm. But as he explored the manor further, something nagged at him. There were strange patterns in the cracks on the walls' faces, some grinning, others twisted in silent screams. In one of the rooms, he found an old journal, its leather brittle, its pages yellowed with age. Most entries were mundane: birthdays, winters by the fire. But then, the tone shifted. "There are voices in the walls at night. They call my name. The mirrors show things they shouldn't. The house is alive. It wants something from me." Elias slammed the journal shut. His heart raced, but he shook his head. Superstition, stories to scare children. He threw the book aside, trying to dismiss its warnings. That night, the footsteps returned. This time, they were fast running through the halls as though searching for him. He bolted out of bed and swung open the door, only to find himself staring at the hallway mirror. His reflection stood there, grinning, and Elias wasn't smiling at all. The terror unfolds. Days turned into weeks, and the house grew more restless. At night, faint whispers echoed from the walls. Objects moved without explanation. A chair dragged across the room, locked doors swinging open as if inviting him somewhere. And then came the room. It happened one evening. Elias had been pacing when he saw a door that had never been there before, slightly ajar. His heart sank as he pushed it open, revealing a dimly lit space with a single chair. On its Saturday, a cracked porcelain doll, its button eyes staring, its stitched mouth curling into an unnerving smile. As Elias took a step closer, the door slammed shut behind him. He yanked at the handle, desperate to escape, but it was locked tight. The doll's head twisted slowly, creaking as it turned to face him directly. Its stitched mouth parted, and from the silence came a chilling whisper, "Leave, if you can." The house claims its victim. By the final night, Elias was desperate to leave, but the manor wouldn't let him go. No matter which door he opened, he was led back to that same room, that same chair, That same duh. He screamed into the night, pleading, "What do you want from me?" Then, the walls began to tremble, the air grew icy, and from the corner of the room stepped a figure, pale, hollow-eyed, and grinning. Elias gasped. It was himself, twisted, lifeless, yet impossibly alive. The figure pointed toward him, its voice deep and otherworldly. "You're home now." The next morning, the villagers noticed a faint light glowing in Revenge Tree Manor. No one dared approach. Some said Elias had chosen to stay. Others whispered he had no choice. To this day, travelers swear they hear voices from the house, sometimes crying for help, sometimes laughing. And if they look too closely, they say the shadows in the windows grin back at them. The house waits, always hungry, always watching. And if you ever find yourself near Revenge Tree Manor, remember, some houses should remain forgotten. Revenge Tree Manor never lets go. Will its whispers find you next? This is Dark Whispers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and stay in the light.